To write equations of lines, we have this form, point slope form, right? Which is basically this equation, y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Then we have slope intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, that you guys already have, come to know and love, right? You have to memorize both of these. Okay, so to write equations of lines, you have to first look at what it is that you have given. And the way I've done the notes is I've gone case by case. Case one is you are given a slope and a y-intercept, okay? So when you have your problem that you have to solve, first look, what do I have? Oh, I have slope and y-intercept. So you go to the notes and it says, oh, use the slope-intercept equation, right? That's this one. So here it says, write an equation in slope-intercept form of a line with a slope of -3 and y-intercept of 7, right? So if it's y equals mx plus b, slope is -3, y-intercept is b, right? So I'll just say y equals -3x plus 7, and that's it.
You don't solve it?
No, it is solved. It's the, right, y equals, okay? So take a look at this one. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for a line with slope of -0.5, y-intercept of 3. So what's that going to look like? Y equals what? -1/2 x plus 3. Okay? It's as simple as that. So this was the case when we were given the slope and the y-intercept. Next, case 2, we're going to be given a slope and a point. For that one, you're going to use the point slope equation, the first one in that box up top, which says y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So you see how you have y1 and x1 here? Those are going to be the point that you are given. So take a look at what this says here. Write the point slope form, then convert the equation into slope intercept form. Okay, let's do one thing at a time. So here we have a slope of -2, that's m. And then we have our point. We label that x1, y1, just like you were doing for the slope. Now, take a look at this. We have a y1, x1, and an m in that equation. And all of these just go in there, okay? So, y minus y1, what number do I put there? 3 equals, m is -2, x minus, what's x1 here? 1. Yeah? Okay, this right here is the point slope form. Okay, so that's part 1. Next, we have to convert it to slope intercept form, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to distribute that -2. So I get y minus 3 equals -2x plus 2. Yeah? I distribute the -2 here and here. Now what am I going to do? Add 3 to both sides, because we need to get it as y equals something. -2x plus 5. And this is the slope intercept form. So this problem was asking us to do that form, 2 answers, and I just got 2 answers. I basically started with one and I went into the other. Okay? All right, let's do the next one. I always label first. I have a slope, I have an x1 and a y1, right? So let's go ahead and put it in. Y minus I'll put it up here, right? So it's y minus y1. So what do I put there? 4 equals m 4 over 3 in parentheses x minus what? 0. Okay, x minus 0. Okay, so of course we don't say x minus 0, so that'll be 4 over 3 times x. That's the point slope form. And then how do I put it in y equals mx plus b form, slope intercept form? What am I going to do? I need to get y alone. What am I going to do? Add 4 to both sides. So let me just copy that over. I'm going to add 4, add 4. So y equals 4 over 3x plus 4. That's the slope intercept form. All right, questions? I'm going to move over here a little bit. Questions? I know, sometimes I like to do that. I don't want to like neglect anyone. Okay, so the next case, case 3, is you're given 2 points. So look at this one. I have 2 points and I need to write point slope form and the slope intercept form. Now, here, look at what it says to do. First, find slope. Then, use the point slope equation. All right? So, I label this x1, y1, x2, y2. All right. So, first I'm going to find slope. 10 minus negative 6, negative 4 minus 0. That's what you did for the homework for today. So this is 16 over negative 4, negative 4. Okay. Now, using one of the points, go ahead and just like this, put it into this form. All right? On your mark. Get set, go. I'll give you 10 seconds. Go, go, go. 10 seconds. I'll race you to it. How about that? Okay, so that's what you should end with. I mean, you should start with, rather. So y plus 6 is equal to negative 4 times x. That's the slope, point slope form. Now, because anything minus 0 is the same number, so you can just get rid of it. Now you subtract 6 from both sides, so y equals negative 4x minus 6, slope intercept. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and do the next one. First, we're going to find slope. So m is, okay, first label, x1, y1, x2, y2. So, negative 3 minus 3, 2 plus 1. That's negative 6 over 3. So how much is m? Negative 2. All right, now, again, I'm going to give you 10 seconds using this point and that equation that I have on the board, y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Go ahead and write the point slope form. On your mark, get set, go. We should have started with this. Now what we do is we distribute. So I get y minus 3 equals negative 2x minus 2. Add 3. Add 3. So y equals negative 2x plus 1. So if you didn't get that, make sure you fix. Okay, on your answer space, you would write this one for point slope. and this one for slope-intercept. Okay? Now, let's do this one. So let's find slope first. M equals x1, y1, right? Label x2, y2. -8 minus 4. 3 minus -1. -12 over 4, -3. Okay, now, y minus, okay, here's a little helpful hint for you. When you go to do this, circle the point you're going to use, because then you might start with one point, but then your eyes go to the next point when you're rushing, right? So y minus 4 equals -3, x minus what? 1 or -1? -1. Okay. So y minus 4 equals -3, x plus 1. Now what do I do? Distribute, right? Y minus 4, -3x minus 3. And then add 4, y equals -3x plus 1. Okay, so what answers am I going to put on my answer space? Tell me what to box. Which one of these is point slope form? This one. This is the one, right? Because it's in simplified form, not the one above. And then what's the slope-intercept form that I put on my answer space? The final one, right? So both of these are technically answers. One is in different form than the other, okay? All right. So here we go. Some mixed practice for us, okay? So take a look. Write the point slope form and so on. Okay, so what do I have given for this one? Passes through a point and I have a slope. What do I have? A point and a slope. Which of the cases is that? 1, 2, or 3 in your notes? Tell me which case is that. You're sure? Here. So case 3 is you're given 2 points. Case 2 is this one, right? This is what I want you to do on your homework. Case 2, and then when you go to case 2, it says, oh, use the point slope equation. So now I know exactly what equation to use. Do you see how I did the notes, right? Okay, so x1, y1. So it's going to be y minus what number? 3 equals half x minus 2. Distribute. Y minus 3 equals half x minus, what do I get for that number? 1. Then I'm going to add 3 to both. So I get y equals half x plus 2. Okay, here's one answer. Here's another answer. Okay, what case is the next one? 1, 2, or 3? It's still 2. Good. All right, so go ahead and do that one. You're on your own. On your mark, get set, go. I'm being generous. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Go. Okay, and make sure you go all the way to the second equation as well. So for the first one, we should have gotten negative 3x minus 7. Let's do this one. This is case 3 now, right? So we're going to find the slope first. Did anybody find the slope? What did you get for the slope for this?
2.
2. Let's see. We get 5 plus 3 over 3 plus 1. That's a 2. And then if this is x1, y1, x2, y2, I'm going to have x plus 3. Nope, y plus 3, sorry. Equals 2, x plus 1. Distribute. Y plus 3, 2x plus 2, minus 3, minus 3, y equals 2x minus 1. Okay, and you see how, like, in going from here to here, that's what we learned in chapter 1, right? So that's what we had to do chapter 1. That's why there were some things that, you know, like you had to know in order to pass that test. Okay, so last bit here. I think you may have seen this before. If you have more than one parallel line, they have the same slope. If you have perpendicular lines, their slopes are opposite reciprocals of each other. Okay? So here's how we do this one. You have m equals negative 4. We need to find the slope of the parallel and the perpendicular line. So here's what we do. Slope of the parallel line, I do like a little parallel symbol. It's just the same thing. Slope of the perpendicular line, now this is negative 4 over 1, right? I do two things. I change the sign so it becomes positive, and then I flip the equation. I take the reciprocal so it becomes 1 over 4. Okay? Here, what's the slope of the parallel line for this one? 2 over 7. For the perpendicular line, I'm going to do two things. So what's the answer going to be? Negative 7 over 2. Negative, and then flip 7 over 2. So negative reciprocal. Okay, now for some good stuff. Okay, so take a look at this one. You have a line that passes through 4 and negative 10. So that's my x1, y1. Okay, that's my point. That's a point. And is parallel to this line. In this line, can we look at this line to see what the slope is? What's the slope? 7 over 8. So if I want my line to be parallel to this, it has to have the same slope. So now I have a point and a slope, right? So I'm going to do y minus y1, negative 10, equals 7 over 8 from here. X minus x1, 4. Do you see how after that it's the same? Right? You still identified a point and some slope. So let's see. Y plus 10 equals 7 over 8x. And then what happens if you do 7 over 8 times 4? Oh, y plus 10. I was looking at the 8. Sorry. Okay, so that's the confused look. Okay, that we can fix. So what's 7 over 8 times 4? Huh? Right. So I this and this, they simplify, right? So you get 2 here. And I'm sorry, you get 4 here. Oh, no, sorry, 2. Oh my gosh. So it's 7 over 2.
Wait, what were we doing?
7 over 8 times negative 4. So that's 7 over 2. Okay. And now, minus 10, minus 10. So y is 7 over 8x. You can actually do this with your calculator. Go ahead and take out your calculators. Huh? Negative 27 over 2. But do you guys know how to do it in your calculator and get a fraction answer? Okay. So negative 27 over 2. Okay? Oh, and it looks like I didn't leave enough space for this next one. Okay. Passes through this. So this is x1, y1. Okay, perpendicular to this. This is the slope here. So what slope am I going to use?
The opposite.
The opposite, which will be how much?
Positive 3 over 5.
Positive 3 over 5. Okay? So it'll be y plus 3 equals 3 over 5, x plus 9. And then you would have to like simplify like we did. Okay? Questions? Okay, so let's take a look here and see which one of these equations is the equation for this line. Okay? So what I would like for you guys to do is first identify the y-intercept. It's negative 3, so b is negative 3. So in here, right, that already crosses off b and c, right? Because the one with y-intercept negative 3 is the either a or d. So now what's the slope? Is it 2 or a half? Let's see. How do you go from here to another point? What's that slope here?
Wait, why did you cross that? Because they're not.
Because here b is negative 3, but here it's like plus 3,
It's
plus
process of
3,
elimination.
right?
Yeah. How are you marking the half?
Okay, so now I have a point here and I have a point here.
Yeah, but you're only marking the 3s.
What do you mean? Oh no, I
No,
just,
the positive 3s on. Yeah.
okay, so I had picked this point. Now I went and I picked another point, but I made sure it's on a corner. Now I'm going to see what the slope is from here to here, like you did on the homework. I go up 1 over 2, that's a slope of a half. Okay? Up 1 over 2, so m is a half, so it must be d. Okay, here, what's the y-intercept? 2. Okay, so now let's see what the slope is. I'm going to pick another point. I'm going to take this point here. How do I get to that point? I go up 1, 2, 5, and I go over 1, 2, 3. So m is 5/3. All right, so which one of those is it? C. Okay? All right, good. So that much for that.